So Mike Pence has dropped out of the presidential race. He said that after much prayer, he realizes now it's just not his time. I hate to break it to him, but it was never his time. At no point in time was it Mike Pence's time. And I'm sure that when he first decided to run, he probably prayed about it then. And I'm sure the Lord laid it on his heart to run. And now the Lord has revealed to him that it's not his time. Anytime that you start giving the Lord or your God credit or blame for your own ideas and your own failures, you really start to make your God look incompetent. Because basically what Mike Pence is saying here is that, okay, the Lord revealed to me that it's not my time. Okay, well, who's the front runner of your party? Whose time is it in the Republican Party? Oh, it's Donald Trump's time again? So you're telling me that your God looked down on the world and he said, Mike, I know that you profess your faith to me on a daily basis. And I know that you preach conservative family values all the time. And I know you talk about prayer and you talk about your relationship with Christ all the time, Mike. And I know you, on the surface, appear to be a moral man, but I'm not going to use you, Mike. No, instead, I'm going to use this guy over here who's been found liable of sexual abuse. I'm going to use this guy over here who has 91 charges, 4 indictments. He's been found guilty of fraud. Oh, and I'm going to use this dude that said he never saw any reason why that he should ever ask me for any forgiveness. I'm going to use this dude that tried to overturn an election that he knew he lost, tried to overthrow the government and overthrow democracy. Oh, and by the way, he had a riot of people outside that was ready to hang your ass, Mike. That's who I'm going to use instead of you. That's essentially what Mike Pence is saying here, because he prayed about it, and then he went up against Donald Trump, and he couldn't beat Donald Trump, and the Lord revealed to him, hey, it's not your time, Mike, so we're back to square one. But anytime people does this, they paint themselves in a corner the minute you start trying to give God credit for things that really God had nothing to do with whatsoever. I once knew a dude, the guy had like 5 fiancées in like 2 years. Never got married, but he was always popping the question. And every time he popped the question to his new girlfriend, he would always say, oh, the Lord sent me this angel. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with her. And then he never would end up marrying the girl. And I was always like, dude, you're making your God look pretty incompetent, because if God sent you a woman, she would have been the right one the first time. If God had actually called Mike Pence to run for president, nothing could have stopped Mike Pence. But Mike Pence is the absolute worst type of politician, because he said that, he's still going to fight for conservative family values. He's still going to stand up for the Republican Party, and he is going to work to elect good, God-fearing, moral, Christian Republican people. But we all know at the end of the day, when Donald Trump becomes the nominee for the Republican Party, Mike Pence will circle the wagons and he'll get right behind him, because he's bought and paid for. And because all this morals and values and all this shit, it's a shtick, it's a gimmick, it's stage props. I know I say it all the time, but these people truly don't believe it. Mike Pence has the voice for it. He has the voice for it, and he has that dry, bland, vanilla look that will appeal to a couple of mammals in the South. There's probably a few mammals somewhere in the South right now that's a little bit sad about it. But they'll circle the wagons and get behind Trump too. Well, I guess we just better, I know that we thought God had sent Mike Pence, but God said it ain't Mike Pence's time, so let's all just get behind Trump. At least he's not a Democrat. The Lord called King David, so let's get behind King Donnie. It's the most ridiculous. It is, folks, it truly is a hell of a time to be alive. But I'll tell you what time it never was. It was never Mike Pence's time to be president of the United States, ever.